Ecclesiastes 2, verse 12 to 13 says, Then I turned my thoughts to consider wisdom and also madness and folly. What more can the king's successor do than what has already been done? I saw that wisdom is better than folly, just as light is better than darkness. Let me extend greetings to all my family, friends, and well-wishers. It's a new year, a new season, and a new day. Welcome to Life is a Test. These are life lessons from King Solomon, part 5. After Solomon's pursuit of hedonism, the king sets his eyes on analyzing wisdom and folly. What happens when you start messing around with pleasure under the sun? Well, it never satisfies. One person puts it this way: the higher a person builds the wall of self-gratification, the deeper becomes the reservoir of his needs. Solomon had enough wealth to make himself comfortable and keep himself entertained. Solomon tried everything a man could, including women, sex, education, building mansions and gardens, but he was never satisfied. He was left feeling empty. Let us be clear. Nothing is wrong with the pleasures of this life. But if we chase life's pleasure under the sun to satisfy our souls, we will never experience satisfaction. So we are to invest in happiness that is eternal. In the verses read, Solomon is talking about wisdom again. Solomon already considered wisdom in chapter 1. But re-examining wisdom means Solomon is deeply searching. It is like us searching for something and we keep going back to the same spot, trying to find it. Solomon is searching for the meaning of life, and now he is looking at both wisdom and folly. Have we ever stopped and considered the real meaning of wisdom and folly? Well, wisdom means having vast knowledge and using reasoning skills to make decisions. It is understanding and intelligence. Wisdom is a skill given by God that is used to make informed decisions, to live fulfilled lives under the sun. Folly is a fool, and biblically, this is not someone who is not intelligent, but rather it is someone who lacks the proper fear or respect for God, one that will go in the wrong direction of life, one who says there is no God. In verse 13 to 14, Solomon, as the wisest man, sought to compare wisdom and folly. He says wisdom is like light, while folly is darkness. Wisdom is being able to see where you are going, to foresee some results, avoid wrong decisions, and avoid living a life of pleasure under the sun. In St. John 3 verse 19, we are told that fools walk in darkness. And although light comes into the world, they love darkness instead of light because their deeds are evil. Folly is seen around us every day. And we cannot only look at our young people, but also the foolish behaviors and decisions of adults as well. The pursuit of pleasure and folly have landed people in prison, in the graveyard, sitting idly on the street corners, being on drugs, becoming deceivers and scammers, becoming false prophets and corrupters. But when Solomon analyzes it critically, he says, what befalls the wise befalls the fool, because they both die and they both eventually be forgotten. So the wise and the fool have one thing in common. One writer says, no matter how wise one is or is not, how much they do or do not accomplish, or how much pleasure one has or does not have, the same events happen to them. They all die. Therefore, we can conclude that there is no real value even in wise living, pleasure, and accomplishment in a life if God is taken out of the picture. No one will remember a wise man any more than the foolish man. So the question is, why become wise if we cannot change life's final destination, death? Have we ever considered that question? Well, Solomon did. And because of how he felt, it made him hate life. You may ask, how can a godly king hate life? I believe the hatred he felt was not for life itself, but the events and what life offered under the sun. Many times we act as if we are happy with more things in our life, and we don't mind life's events. But let's face it, we often lie to ourselves. But nothing is wrong in hating the events and circumstances of life. I hated it when I had to attend the funerals of my aunt. I hated it when I was lied on. I hated it when I was persecuted. I hated that the once good nations of the world are now nations of murderers, homosexuality, drug addiction, and political corruption. To compound matters, Solomon, in verses 18 to 19, contemplated all he had accomplished and realized that one day it would pass on to someone else because he cannot live forever to enjoy it. After death, all our accomplishments will one day be passed on to someone else because we cannot live forever to enjoy it. One day, like Solomon, we will have to part with our fame, our fortune, our achievement, and our wisdom. In verse 21, Solomon says, a person may labor with wisdom, knowledge, and skill, but they must leave all they own to another person who has not toiled for it. Today we work so hard to accomplish what we think will make us happy and feel fulfilled. But like Solomon, we have no control or idea of who will take control of what we leave behind. Many churches and businesses started out with hard work, but where are they today? They don't exist. They are not functioning. They are not spiritual because of one or more fools. Many homes built through sweat and tears are today occupied by strangers or persons who don't even know how it was built. We work hard to implement policies, and in a few years, someone else takes our place and changes those policies. We betray others for positions, power, and their possessions. But in a few years, all we gain will be gone to someone else who may be foolish or wise. All the gadgets, houses, and cars that we brag about today cannot be bragged about tomorrow or in the years to come. Solomon's son, Rehoboam, became king. He turned out to be a fool and divided the kingdom in two, and within a few years lost nearly 90% of the entire kingdom. There is so much accumulated wisdom in the world, and yes, it has been used to advance our nations and our lives. Yet look around, we have more unhappy, hungry, power-hungry, and diseased people around. So Solomon is reminding us that if our focus for working and achieving is just about leaving a legacy, the result will be dissatisfaction. Our labor and achievement under the sun will not get us into eternity. We need to live for God. We need to achieve and enjoy life's pleasure with God at the center. While we are investing in our education, our businesses, our big houses, let's remember nothing should come before God. God gives us gifts freely, but let us not fall in the same trap like Solomon and worship the gift rather than the giver. Today, let's stop to evaluate ourselves and ask ourselves, is God before everything in our lives? Let's pursue God and be fulfilled. Let us be wise and make wise decisions. I hope you have been blessed. We would like to hear from you. So reach out to us through WhatsApp at 441-519-8087. Until next time, have a great day with an extraordinary God. Blessings.